Welcome, I've got an EMOM for you today. Every minute on the minute, you're going to change the movement that you're doing. This week in strength training, we're talking about trusting your process. And that basically means I want you to get to know your body and your process and be okay with the shape or form that you take. This time in my explanation, I'm going to show you a lot of different variations you can do to access similar muscles in your body. But it depends if you're doing this first thing in the morning on your mat when you wake up, or if you're doing it as a midday break and you need to, shake things up a little bit so you can have energy, or if you're ending your day with it. Doesn't matter. This is available to you and to your body so that you can make the most of it for the process that you have. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing is cardio choice. Now, if you're first waking up in the morning, maybe you just want to give yourself some marching. Low impact, activating right and left brain to work together as I lift right and left side, alternating for a period of time. Okay, so we do this for a minute. Now, if you just start that and you've jump started yourself and it feels pretty good, you get to come into it jogging into place. Higher impact, more cardio, feeling good, pumping your elbows at your sides, maybe picking up the pace, picking up your knees a little higher, making this available to you. Again, depending on the time of day, maybe this is what you do in the middle of the day to wake yourself up. Maybe you throw in a burpee. That's up to you. But the options are always available to you. Take it into a march. Take it into a jog. Take it into high knees. Throw in a burpee for yourself. What are you making available to you and your process to be successful? Take down the resistance. Just get into the movement. Second minute, you guys are going to do fun with planks. Best way to get into a plank, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Walk your hands forward. Drop your knees, your hips down. Squeeze in the glutes. Allow the shoulders to drop down your back and feel your upper body pushing into the ground. Engagement in your upper ribs, engagement of belly button to spine, squeezing in the glutes. Full plank variation here. Tucking the toes under, pushing out through the heels, squeezing in the glutes, belly button to spine. And if you want to have a little fun with it, what we did in our boot camp today, a few things. You can step side to side, and then come back to center. You can tap the heads of your shoulders. Now, 1 minute of that is a lot. So I encourage you to listen to your body and to see what it feels like to come to stillness again. And then to engage the process again. When things feel hard, we tend to say, I'm going to stop because I can't. But what if you're just afraid of doing something really difficult and you actually can do it? So go ahead and try those variations for yourself. Third thing, kettlebell swing. I do it with a dumbbell. Kettlebell is broken down into two different movements. The bent over, almost deadlift movement, and then the standing plank pose movement. So let's go ahead and get into this in the right way. Bring your weight in front of you, making your legs wide enough so that when you pick it up, you can swing it through. You're going to come down and reach for it. Notice how I'm reaching forward and I'm sending my hips back. I'm not bending down into a squat. I am sending my hips backwards, and I always feel a stretch in my hamstrings and my posterior chain here, my back body. When I reach here, sending my shoulders back and down my back, dragging it down through my hips, and then squeezing. Sending the hips back, squeezing in the hips to bring the dumbbell to my eye line. Arms not working. Knees bending simply because I'm hinging, not because I'm squatting. A lot of engagement in the upper body. A lot of engagement belly button to spine. Reaching through, allowing the dumbbell to swing. What brings the dumbbell up is the engagement in my glutes to send it in front of my face. Now, if that feels like a lot, it's okay. Here's the variation that I like to give my strength class when we're doing dumbbell swings. Bridge taps. Maybe it's first thing in the morning and you want to get this done in a gentle way, waking yourself up. That's fine too. We pick what's available to us. Feet flat on the floor, body resting on the ground, pushing into our feet, rolling your tailbone underneath of you, belly button comes towards sternum, pushing into feet, coming up into this bridge. Important to note that I am not coming all the way up onto my shoulders like this. I'm staying down, keeping my ribs in my back body down on the ground and folding in my lower body as if I'm bringing my belly button towards my sternum, towards the center of my chest. And then releasing, widening my sit bones, tapping, squeezing and bringing it towards me again. Paying attention to my knees, making sure that they aren't swaying side to side, caving in or coming out. And awareness in where my knees are in space, so good for runners. For 1 minute. Now if you want to take it up a notch, you can get a weight and place it between your hips. Here. Pushing in through your feet, rocking your tailbone underneath of you, bringing belly button towards sternum, relaxing the upper body down, widen, tap, squeeze, widen, tap, squeeze, widen your sit bones, tap, and squeeze. All right, and so for our last minute, the final thing that we're going to invite into our bodies, just a simple crunch. Now there's many different types of crunches and sit-ups, but I'm going to give you a few today to experiment with. If you're making this a 20-minute workout, you may not want to do crunches every single time that you cycle through the 4 minutes. So here we go. Simple crunch, hands interlaced behind the head, elbows nice and wide, nose towards the ceiling. Taking as many crunches as we feel like we can, stopping, and then getting back into it. You're simply following the minute timer and doing as much as you can. Another crunch variation, of course, typical what I call gym sit-ups. Bring your body up and down. And you can do this for 1 minute. You can also do a combination of these sit-ups, and then you can get back into crunches. Maybe you do 3 sit-ups, and then you come on down to do a couple of crunches. Make the process work for you so that you can engage your body in the right ways. Last variation of crunches, if you feel like you've done a lot of forward and back movement, you can always break it into elbow to knee. Making sure you're bringing your elbow all the way to your knee, lifting your body and looking over to your side instead of your knee to your elbow. Notice how I'm holding my knee in space and I'm not bringing it towards me. I'm lifting my body and turning and bringing my elbow over to the knee. I'm going to leave my eye line looking at the ceiling, widening my elbows and bringing my upper body up and across, up and across. Feeling my abs work across my abdomen. Switching legs after 30 seconds and going ahead and doing it again. Other side. Maybe I have mini goals for myself. I can do 5 per side and then get back into crunches and sit-ups. All of these variations are possible and available to our bodies, so don't shut yourself down if you feel like something doesn't feel right or you can't get into it. It's okay. There's plenty of choices for you to have for yourself so that you can get the workout in today in 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 16 or 20. Make it available to you, trust your process, and know that any step is a step in a direction that we want to end up eventually.